you a part of it?
No, Catherine. Other angels have made this war because they hate you. You and all humans. God has put you in his grace and pushed them aside. They're desperate. They've never been able to conquer the other loyal angels, and so this war has remained in stalemate for thousands of years.
Well, hey, wait. If I don't finish this last bite, you don't get my soul, do you?
Technically no, but...
I'm smarter than the devil! I'm smarter than the devil!
You are not smarter than me! I'll see you in hell yet, Homer Simpson!
Not likely.
Hello and welcome to the D6 Damage DM's Guide to Devils. Today we're looking at every good Catholic's favorite hate crush, the Devil, and his legions of evil minions. Now, in Pathfinder, the part of the Devil is played by the archdemon Asmodeus, or it's possibly pronounced Asmodeus. I'm not really sure. I've heard it said either way. Now, what is a devil? In D&D terms, a devil is a lawful evil outsider. Devils come from a very Dante-esque version of hell. Now, all devils, from the lowliest imp to the greatest pit fiend, have a number of features in common. Devils are immune to fire and poison. They have resistance 10 acid and resistance 10 cold. Now, for any of you sneaky players watching this, electricity is what you want to use. Devils can see in darkness, even magical darkness. They have the power to summon other devils, typically lesser devils. They have telepathy. Devils also speak a number of languages: celestial, draconic, and infernal. And finally, devils' natural weapons and any weapons they're armed with are treated as lawful and evil for the purposes of bypassing DR. Alright, now that we have the class characteristics of devils down, let's look at some of the specific breeds of devils out there that the party might encounter. We're going to start with the lesser evils and move up from there. Lemuras are the lowliest of all devils. They're basically the souls of the damned who've been warped by the powers of hell into these kind of gelatinous masses. They're not very strong or very smart, they're really just kind of cannon fodder. In a campaign, you would generally see large numbers of these in any hellish environment or anywhere that devils are particularly active. They're a whopping CR1. The next devil of note is the classic imp. Generally, I like the idea of imps as advisors to mortal spellcasters or diabolists. They're there to provide them instructions on how to best serve the will of hell on Earth. They can also be a good connection for the party to get in touch with the powers of darkness without, needing to deal with any really seriously powerful evil outsiders. Imps are a CR2. The next rung on Hell's ladder is occupied by the mighty bearded devil. Think of these guys as the sergeants or elite soldiers in Hell's army. They're the disciplined troopers that keep order in the ranks. Now obviously there are going to be at least a few of them in any area of infernal power, and they're going to be involved in any action that the infernal powers want to take a direct hand in. Bearded devils are a CR5. Next up at CR9 are bone devils. They're Hell's inquisitors and interrogators. Now, as far as the party's concerned, they have access to special knowledge or secrets. This can really be anything you want as a DM, but really helpful things are spells for spellcasters, or plot-relevant information. Also, anything that could potentially give the party a leg up on a situation that they're going into. A Bone Devil might have access to that information because, well, you run into a lot of interesting people in hell. The next noteworthy devil are the barbed devils. They're the jailers and guards of hell's vaults. Now these guys are likely to have valuable treasures, or they know how to get valuables. So, that's another source of good loot for the party that they can either get from defeating one of these devils or possibly summon and trade with them. Alright, now we're really getting up there in the ranks with the ice devils. These guys are like the empirical strategists and planners of hell. They fill roles like intelligence analysts and tacticians, and they happen to be my favorite type of devil. Ice devils are a CR13. The second highest level of rank and file devils are the horned devils. Think of these guys as the generals and champions of hell. If something serious is going down that the infernal powers are interested in, the horned devils are going to be around. Horned devils are a CR16. Finally, the true nobility of hell are the pit fiends. They're subservient only to the princes of hell and Asmodeus himself. They're a whopping CR 20. I really wouldn't suggest letting the party deal with them directly, and I would save these guys for like an end boss. Alright, now I want to talk about one of the really unique things that I think makes devils devils as opposed to demons and other creatures, and that's the art of the deal. Devils are notorious in folklore for making contracts with ambitious or silly mortals. And I just want to give you some ideas as a DM that you can use to get the party involved in a deal with the devil without making it too difficult on them. Your devil, be it Asmodeus or a pit fiend or whatever, has two potential contracts that he can offer the party. A bilateral contract or a unilateral contract. Now, a bilateral contract is basically a promise for a promise. Mephisto promises Faust fame and fortune if Faust will give Mephisto his soul for all eternity. A unilateral contract is a promise for an action. Now, the only way to fulfill a unilateral contract is to do the action. An important note about unilateral contracts: not acting does not breach the contract. So the devil has no legal right to harass the party for not killing someone or whatever. Alright, now let's look at the elements of a contract, because these are important when thinking about exactly how you want to give your deal to the party. The first part of a contract is the offer. This is a specific offer and a specific demand. Alright, now after the offer has been proffered, there is the acceptance of the offer. This is necessary to create a binding contract. Basically, the party has to accept the deal with the devil. Alright, the final element of the contract is consideration. This is the receiving of a legal benefit or the suffering of a legal penalty. What this means to you as a DM is basically, this is the devil's way to wreak retribution on the party or to give them what they want. Basically, what I would do as a DM is the one who makes the deal with the devil now has some power over them in terms of consideration. He has the power to either fulfill the bargain or to punish the character for not holding up his end. The exact form this punishment can take is up to you. It can take the form of a curse, sending minions after them, hurting or damaging something they love, just anything that would seem like fair repayment from the eyes of a lawful evil being. Now, generally, the two parties in a contract are the promisor, i.e. the devil, and the promisee, whoever the devil is making a deal with, but those aren't necessarily the only roles that the players can fill. There are a couple of third parties. First off, there's the beneficiary. This is someone benefiting from what the promisee is receiving. An example of this would be, say, one of the character's fathers made a deal with the devil and became a wealthy land baron. And the deal with the devil comes due, and the devil shows up, takes the father away, and the character has become the lord of the manor. He has received the benefits of his father's deal without facing any of the ramifications. The other third party that players could potentially fulfill is subcontractor. The devil could contract out to them to fulfill the deal. Now, say a character is playing a necromancer. A powerful devil may come to them and say, hey, I want you to raise this person from the dead as a skeleton, and then send them off with this poor farmer who made a deal with me to get his wife back. Alright, finally, I want to leave you with a short list of sources for additional reading about devils that might influence how you choose to portray these creatures in your D&D campaign. First off, there's The Devil and Daniel Webster. I also recommend The Devil and Tom Walker, the classic Dante's Inferno, one of my all-time favorite books by C.S. Lewis, The Screwtape Letters, the opera Faust, and an episode of Supernatural called Crossroad Blues. All of these are sure to give you some fantastic ideas for missions or campaigns in your next D&D game that revolves around devils. Now, if you're interested in more character builds and class analysis for Pathfinder and D&D, check out D6 Damage right here on YouTube. Thank you for watching.